We live. It's part 2. We got Mickey Bey, Big Rich, Real Boxing Facts. We out here in Las Vegas. So tell me more about the mob.
Yeah, I was basically just making a reference, just by saying that's who started boxing pretty much, and how it was ran back in the day. It's still corruption. It's just different. You know, it might not be the exact, like it might not be the mob in the game, but it's still corruption.
Right.
Like, you know, but
So do you think promoters they really take advantage of their fighters?
I mean, it's still a business. So at the end of the day, my thing is, a lot of times to me, I think it's middlemen. Like, I don't really even think it be the promoters. Like it's middlemen. Like, you know, you got a lot of middlemen that's trying to eat, so they to go between the fighter. Like, my problem always in my career been the middleman. Like, it ain't really never been a promoter. Even with Floyd, you know, everything was good when it was just him, me dealing with him. But when you stick a middleman in there, just imagine this. Imagine if they ain't rich, or imagine if they don't got that much money. What you think is gonna happen?
Right.
When you gotta go to the, just say it's $1 million. I'm just making examples. Say it's $1 million on the table. If you don't have the right manager that you can trust, they talking to the promoter. They could come to you and say, "Oh, it's 300," so they can give you that, and then take out of that 300. And you know, you got to pay all the other stuff back. You got tax. But my thing is, you know.
So in your opinion, what do you think a fighter with a championship belt should be getting paid?
I mean, it all varies still, like, because boxing is weird to me. Like, a lot of times people get paid on favoritism. Like, you got guys that if the promoter like you, they might pay you a certain amount. It's weird, but it's weird how boxing is. Like, you know, some guys, they could fight Joe Blow and not even sell tickets, but get paid 4 or 5 times more than another fighter. Like me, like, I think every big fight I had, my opponents got at least 4 to 5 times more than me.
Wow.
And I never said nothing. I never complained. This is my first time even saying it. I'm talking about the few big fights that I did have, my opponents got anywhere from 3 to 4 to 5 times more than me. I never complained. Even though I knew it wasn't right, I ain't complained though. Because I learned, like, when I got with Floyd, I'm like, dang, you know, I feel like before I got with him, I think my mistake was probably being in a rush, but I really wasn't in a rush, because you get in boxing to make money. You get tired of making them little paydays, fighting hard fights, but getting them little paydays. But I think coming with Floyd, I'm gonna just sit back and just let it go how it's gonna go. I ain't gonna question nothing. But when you do that, dudes get relaxed. They see that you relax, and then they say, oh, like, damn, they take advantage. So, you know, after 3 or 4 years of that, I'm like, damn, come on, come on, yes, I won the belt now. Like, it got to go up a little bit.
So, in terms of regulating boxing, do you think that promoters should have to be accountable for things like that, other than just the middleman? I mean, everything should be itemized.
In my situation, yeah, but the promoters, to me, they doing a good job right now. Like, if you look at Bob Arum, if you look at Eddie Hearn, and if you look at PBC, when you got the majority of fighters that's happy, that's when you know it's going good. Like, everybody can't be happy. Like, I mean, it's different strokes for different folks. Like, so I ain't gonna just say one guy might not like being with Al, but they might go to Bob and have a great career. But it might be vice versa on the other hand. But as long as a fighter to me is making money, which all of them guys do, they ain't gonna do nothing as petty as what happened to me. Like, if a dude can fight and he don't owe you money, never slept with your girl, did something bad, why would you put a man on the shelf just because the manager tell you to? If the manager say, oh no, this dude, he's starting to ask questions now, man, yes, teach him a lesson. And that's basically what my situation was. It wasn't nothing, but that was from me having a young manager. You know, that was his first time managing. I was willing to sit down at the table. It's like, man, after a while, when you know, when you know you getting fucked, like how long you gonna let it happen? Like I'm still boxing to help my family, and you know I ain't one of them dudes that you know how people say all that fake it till you make it. Like I got tired of that shit. Like ain't no point of being on something called the money team if I wasn't making no money like that. Like you know I ain't saying that Floyd did some great things for me, but what I'm saying is let me choose my own manager. Like if I want this person to manage me, don't stick somebody in and make them manage me. And then I don't never know when I'm fighting. I got to find out in the media just like a fan. I wake up in the morning and hear I got to fight.
So I was going to ask you that. What's your relationship with Floyd?
It's kind of weird.
Do you have a long history with Floyd?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I knew Floyd literally probably half of my life now. Yeah, since I was a teenager.
Oh, wow. So y'all grew up together.
Yeah, like I moved out here because of him. But what's funny is when I first moved out here, everybody said I was dumb. Oh, the Mayweathers ain't this. They can't train. Floyd ain't this. To see everybody mimic them and try to fight like them a decade later just kind of was funny to me. Because a lot of my friends in the boxing world and trainers was like, oh, they was kind of like, dang, why y'all going to Vegas? Like, but see, I was always good at seeing the future a little bit, I guess you could say. Like my brother already had this. He knew since Floyd was an amateur. Like man, he the best fighter in the world. I don't know how he knew. It was like a prophecy or something.
Wow.
We got this on video. Like we got proof. Like he told me this when Floyd was in the Olympics. That was around when I first started boxing. And he told me that he could beat Mosey and De La Hoya at the time. And we debating because you know I was the Mosey and De La Hoya guy at that time. Like when they was professional. And he like, no, man, this dude right here, because our first boxing trainer let us use a tape of the Olympics. And my brother was like, man, he the best fighter in the world. And he was like, man, if we turn pro, we need to train with his dad. At that time, I think we was, Emmanuel Stewart was sponsoring us. You know, he had opened us a gym, opened us up a gym in Cleveland. We used to go back and forth from there to Detroit. You know, Detroit is like 2 hours away. But my brother just had that vision, like, man, his dad is the truth. Like, he a great trainer. Like, we need to go out there. And then one day we just met. You know, it's going to be a documentary to it all, so y'all can see all the footage. But
so tell me this: what does people like misunderstand about you when they type your name up on Google and they want to know about you? What do they just don't understand about you?
Well, my thing is that you can't believe a headline that come out because anybody could type a headline and put it out. Like, that don't mean that that's what it is. Like, you might see something come out, but you didn't see the effect. You didn't see the details and this and that. So but I was always the kind of dude like, all right, forget it. I'm gonna take the back seat. I'll take the flack for that and just move on. But you know, I think maybe my manager at the time did learn now. Like, my thing was, I think that we should have sat down with each other. I'm always open to forgive. Like, who am I? Like, shit. Ain't no human being perfect. I made mistakes. He made mistakes, but I feel like I feel like some of the stuff he did. Floyd is the kind of guy that he pay and he deal on emotions. And by you being his cousin, you know how to trigger his emotions. So if you feel like you need to put me in check and slap me on the wrist, you know how to go to your cousin and what to do and what to say. Like, you know what to say, and he shouldn't have done that. If you making money off of me, you should have kept it how it was. Like, Floyd was the kind of dude, he the kind of dude that if he with you, he gonna be with you. Like, he gonna pay you and overpay you, and he the king of boxing. So if he say I want him to have this or I want him to do that, it's gonna happen. But if he say he don't, it's gonna be bad for you. And I just feel like Floyd beforehand, before I had a manager, Floyd treated me great, almost like a son did. Even though you know he ain't old enough to be my dad, but I'm saying, like, I can't take away all the good stuff that he did. But what make Floyd great in the ring, it kind of make him bad as a promoter and bad as a businessman, because he's so much of a winner that if it's a dispute, whether right or wrong, he want to win. He a winner in the ring. But in business, it's different. It's like Michael Jordan. He the greatest player ever, but how is he as an owner in the NBA? What you think?
Right. So do you think that, because to me, when two men sit down and talk, what I'm saying, I think anything can be worked out.
Yeah, but man, what, I don't know. Like, you would think I slept with it. You would think I messed with one of his girls or stole some money or something. Like, I don't know. But my thing is, it was definitely unnecessary because we ain't got no personal problem, this and that. I shouldn't have got set on the shelf the long as I had. I ain't never trip or complain. Like, I made the least money out of every 10-round fighter at Mayweather Promotion.
Right.
Like, everybody. Like, I ain't never complained. Ain't nobody never hear this. Like, me come out and say this. I just took it on the chin. But at the end of the day, it was just the extra stuff to me. Like, if you're going to finally let me move on, just let me move on. If dudes say they want to sign me, don't nobody got to go and say, just let them do what they want to do. You don't got to put a wrench in it. Like,
right. So tell me this. So, and when we talked about the mob, do you think they kind of like categorize that as politics now? And I mean, because that's like a word that you can use to make it acceptable. Yeah,
it's more political. But see, most of like I said, the promoters is about money. Man, these dudes would promote Ted Bundy if he was still alive. Like, come on, man. Like, as long as you could bring money to the table for them, they'd promote you. But a lot of the time, like I said, and I don't knock dudes' hustles, but a lot of dudes that get in boxing, think about it. How many kids you hear in school grow up say, oh, I want to be a boxing manager when I grow up? Zero. Right. So think about why dudes get into boxing. The thing is you can't just jump into the NFL or NBA with no qualifications.
Right.
In boxing, you could just jump in off the streets and say, oh, I'm a boxing manager. You could be, and most cats don't have no business experience that get in, which is fine. But what I'm saying is, like, if you get in, just know we putting our life on the line. We did this our whole life. So if you jump in on this, understand that, like even me, like, I must be kind of crazy. I've been training. You see how I just worked out. Right. Imagine training like that without having no date or nothing. Like, and I ain't made a boxing person 3 years.
Right, and you've been sparring the top people that's out there.
Yeah, you seen.
Yeah,
and I ain't look rusty at all.
Yeah, we ain't gonna say no names, but you've been sparring all the top people out there.
Yeah, exactly. So that's my thing. But I feel like that's all I can do is do what I can control. Hopefully soon this stuff just inching in there, but like I say, it ain't easy leaving Mayweather Promotions, and I had it the hardest though, which is weird. Like, at one point it would have been the best for me, like I say, but I had it the hardest just by having a manager that just came in. You think about it, man. You come in, you manage a fighter, and he become a champion in less than a year. You didn't have to invest $0. Zero. You didn't have to put up no money. But you, and I ain't trip on that. Even though I didn't pick him as my manager. My thing is that after a few years when we did part ways, it should just been like, all right, it's all good or whatever. And I even offered him another, position, chance to come back in, but like we got to sit down, talk this and that,
right,
and
right.
Everything. Just because that's what kind of dude I am. But by me being so humble and all that stuff, and you sit back and you let somebody speak for you, people get misconstrued and think this and that, and that's why you won't hear me talking more. And number one, I'm my IQ on this boxing is is through the roof, but I'm just ready to get back in there though, really.
So what's your schedule like? When are you getting back in there?
I mean, well now I'm promoter free and all of that stuff, so we gonna see who we gonna work with, and pretty much go from there.
Okay, real talk. Okay, Mickey. So in your hometown, like if you do get a big fight, do you want to fight in your hometown?
Yeah, definitely. I used to fight there a lot as an amateur, but I haven't fought there in a while. Probably just once. My first pro fight, that's it. But yeah, definitely. I would love to.
Is that right? So, because see, my thing is, you say you got one more fight coming up, and then you think that you'd be ready for a title, right?
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Oh, for sure. And you plan on fighting what, in Mexico or what?
I ain't sure yet.
Not sure?
It depends, yeah.
Because you ready. It's like you get a phone call.
Yeah, I only need, I could take any fight right now. It's only maybe a couple big fights that I would want to tune up, but with a lot of these fighters, I'll fight right off the bat. As long as I got about a 4 or 5 week notice, about a month,
Right.
I'll fight anybody.
So previously you were signed with Top Rank, right?
Yeah, I was signed with them before Floyd, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, Floyd bought me out of their contract.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh, one of them type of situations. Huh?
Yeah.
Okay. So if it came again, would you sign with Top Rank again?
Oh yeah, for sure. Like
You got a good relationship with Bob Arum?
yeah, as far as like I don't know him like that, but as far as any time that we met, yeah, like he was always to me like out of everybody I met with, he always like even when I first turned pro, that's who I wanted to sign with. But I had pretty much advisors that wanted to go a different route at the time, but Bob is like a straight businessman. Like he'd tell you right then and there, like he like, man, I'm gonna do X, Y, Z. Like and he do it. Like, they're a real first class company the way they do stuff. Like everything is first class. They keep you busy. Yeah, that's a big.
Yeah, I did some media work with them.
Yeah,
they always treated me pretty good. Every time I went, you know what I mean. So yeah, that might be something. What I'm saying, in the future. You know what I mean. Have you? What type of relationship you have with Oscar De La Hoya?
Who?
You.
Oscar who?
Oscar De La Hoya.
I wouldn't. Nah, I'm cool.
You cool with Oscar?
Nah, that was actually one of my favorite fighters coming up, but as a promoter, nah.
Okay. You don't like the way he treats his fighters, or?
It's just, certain stuff, like certain stuff, like, people with the company. Sometimes, I don't take stuff personal, but when you hear stuff, people say stuff that they don't know about. Sometimes it's kind of I get offended when I hear somebody say, "Oh, this, kind of speak on my situation. They don't know about it."
Do you think the company's running better? It ran better when Richard Schaefer was in?
Oh, get it. Look what happened when he left. The proof was in the pudding. But see, what I was saying yesterday. Oscar was a fighter, right? That just go to prove my point again. Richard is a businessman. Bob Arum is a businessman. Al Heyman is a businessman. Eddie Hearn is a businessman. How many fights did they have? How many pro fights did they have?
Right.
So they looking at it from a different
perspective.
These dudes that fought, their ego too involved, and they quick to take stuff personal. Fighters to me and don't become good promoters. And I would love to promote, which is crazy. It sounds kind of, but I'm saying most won't become good promoters because they're not going to wholeheartedly try to make a dude. They don't want a dude to pass them up. They got a lot of jealousy towards fighters, and they got mental issues. Like, so much stuff go on with fighters that people don't know about. A lot of fighters got mental health issues. I could have had all the shit I've been through. Like, people don't know the half I've been through. Like,
right.
I could have had.
So, do you plan on writing a book one day?
I definitely am. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, because I think your situation could, like we talked about benefit program and regulations and all that. Yeah. I think that if an average young fighter had like a book that they could turn to, could probably help them out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it can help,
because they can get some pointers.
Books. I read a lot the time I've been out.
Yeah.
I read a lot, a lot of spiritual stuff, a lot of autobiographies and biographies, but not just on fighters though, on all kind of people.
Right.
I don't really get into athletes, not my role models, like most people, or entertainers. Like, they good at they field.
They're good at what they do.
Y'all good at what y'all do. I don't look up to these dudes as activists and this and that. Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, and them ain't shoot a basketball or throw left hooks.
Right.
He was great at it, but that's because he was real.
Right.
Like, you don't got no more of them cats at a high level in sports. Like, these dudes want the money and the women and the stuff like that, which is cool. I can't judge nobody on it, but what I'm saying is leave it at that. Don't try to become Martin Luther King and all of that. Like, and all you want is the bag. Like, it ain't too many. It ain't no more Muhammad Ali's and stuff like that. But not this world. They might can fool fans and fool people that don't know, but I don't look up to no fighters or no athletes or entertainers. I give them their respect, and you can get some jewels. You can get some jewels from them here and there, but don't praise these dudes just because they got money. You meet some of these people, you'll be surprised how they are in real life. Like, you know that term people say, you don't want to meet your idol? Believe me, y'all meet some of these cats and be around them in person, see how people treat people.
Right.
Just because they got money. It's a rented life that we in. We ain't taking none of this with us. Like, that ain't gonna mean nothing to the creator. I don't care what you believe in. Everybody, obviously, some put us here. Like, it's a sun, it's a moon, it's a ground that we walk on.
Right.
Like, you got all these arrogant, narcissistic athletes that think because they make a certain amount of money, like, shit, look at Tupac, Biggie, all them dudes got took out. Like,
right.
You know, like, shit, by dudes that probably ain't had nothing. Like, you know.
That's
like,
real. That's real
they
tough.
Deserve it for sure. But what I'm saying is, money don't got nothing to do with money. Is a separate thing. Like, it means it can get you a lot of material stuff. Yeah, it could put comfort in your life and stuff like that. But it could be used for good and evil. And what our experience is, a lot of dudes use it for evil. From
evil purposes.
Yeah, I know a ton of super rich people. That's why I don't really trip on being super duper rich. Yeah, do I want a whole lot of money? Yeah, because I would like to help a lot of people and help my family out. My lips ain't dry already. Like,
So no. So tell me, I want to ask you about this black and Latino issue that's in boxing, and white issue that's in boxing.
Oh, okay.
How you feel about that?
Hold on,
yeah.
You can start over.
Yeah. Well, how do you feel about, you know, the black issue, you know, in terms of like black fighters not getting the fighters that they deserve, you know what I'm saying? And most of them only get a chance to fight once a year, and then they be out for almost a year before they get another fight, you know what I'm saying? And then most of these white fighters, they fight like 2 or 3 times a year easy on any network they want to. How you feel about that?
I think it's more of who people sign with, to be honest. I don't even really think that, because promoters want money at the end of the day. Like, they mainly care about the green race. But from one thing that I can say, like I said, like PBC, I don't know what was going on with that, why people wasn't fighting. At least they was making big money when they fought, but they probably wasn't as active as they wanted to be. But Bob Arum and Eddie Hearn, they seem to keep people busy, but Al seemed to pay people real well, but shit, so do they. Eddie Hearn and Top Rank does too, but it seemed like PBC was going fast and then they slowed down. But for them three, I think between them three, they the ones that hold boxing up. Like PBC.
Well, do you think that the Oscar, he don't sign a lot of black fighters?
Oh, I don't think the Oscars are I ain't gonna judge him or say, but from what it seemed like, who knows if he even really care about promoting like that. Like, we don't know what kind of issues he got. Like, he might, you know, he had a drug problem. You know, hopefully he kicked it or he can kick it. Like, we don't know what his personal life is like and what kind of demons he's facing. That's what I was saying. When he had Richard, who was a businessman, straight business, you know, he handled it, and him and Al Heyman had Golden Boy was, man, at the time, that was the best thing going, like Golden Boy, but as soon as they left, you know, I don't know what happened, like, so.
Right. So, I just feel that, you know what I'm saying, when you talk about boxing, I just think that if you're a good fighter and you're on that level,
right,
you know what I'm saying, I think that everybody should just fight each other regardless.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
See what's happening now, and that's why I'm anxious and can't wait to get back in the mix. I see dudes with 10, 12 losses getting fight after fight after fight. Boxing is weird, like, and I'm happy to see that. But some fighters might have a rough break like me, you know, and not be able to get, well, I could get fights, but I'm saying, you know, we ain't gonna act like it ain't blackballing. Like,
right.
In business, period, stuff happen, you know, like that all the time. But, you know, I took it on the chin, but
and I think a lot of young fighters, they should really listen to this video because, you know, you're telling your actual story of what you actually went through.
Yeah, everybody make mistakes like me. I mean, it's a manager or so that I could have been more patient with and stayed with. that would have prevented this, but I made a business mistake. It wasn't nothing personal that I ever did. Like, I ain't never had a personal thing or nothing big like that. Some dude just got egos, so where it's like, if this dude don't do X, Y, and Z, like, I'm going to show him that he can't do this just because I said that he can't. Just my last situation was some whole other evil shit. But, you know, as far as before that, even with top rank and all that, like, yeah, that could have went, you know, that was just a kid thing with me being, you know, a little impatient and stuff like that, like wanting to be with Floyd because I felt he was like family, and, you know, but it wasn't nothing personal though, like, you know.
Right. So, do you think that so Al Heyman, do you think you should sign with him as your manager?
I mean, you gotta read between the lines on that.
Okay.
I mean, like, think about it. Like, you know, look where I came from.
Right.
Like, you know, now if it was, like I said, fighter, businessman. Now, if it was a businessman, they might not, you know, I ain't saying old boy got an issue, but obviously, like I said, you know, like I say, man, if certain stuff wasn't in the way, I would have been in big fights, and I would be in big fights now, you know. At the end of the day, whatever I got destined for me is going to happen anyway. I feel that I learned a lot this time that I was off, like financially. I learned a lot about investing, and because nobody, as much rich people I've been around, nobody never told me about buying a house, quit wasting money on rent, put your money up, do this or that, and nobody did
apartment building.
Nobody did none of that, so I got to learn that and do some of them things when I was off. But I did take a big ass hit. I ain't gonna lie about that. Like, I mean, I missed out on millions of dollars just sitting out for 3 years, like, so. But, you know, you can't look on the past. That's only gonna hold your future back. So,
right.
Looking from this day forward, you know, I'm gonna be like I always been. Like, I ain't one of them dudes that got issues personally or about myself. I always dealt good and got along with people. That was always my strength. It's certain people that that turn people against me. You know, but other than that, like, I would have been having real big fights, like, because when you got big people that's shot callers that's saying, man, we love this kid, we want to help him, and somebody just decided to pull that cord out the wall on you, I can't do nothing about that.
That's
like,
real.
Yeah,
that's
so.
Real. All right. We're gonna be doing a little bit more talking. You know what I'm saying?
For sure, yeah. You know, whatever, you know.
It's all good. Any shout outs? You want to get out? Any shout outs?
You know, it's all my supporters and
you gonna get that? You gonna get that Instagram and that Facebook? You know, get back on the.
Yeah, I still got my Twitter up. I don't really
Twitter?
use it a lot, but
give your Twitter out.
Bey TMT.
Okay.
I'm gonna have everything back up soon. You know, I took it down. It wasn't no point for me having it up. Like, I don't got no fights coming. No, you know, I was trying to, like I say, I like to handle stuff behind the scenes, and I ain't want to go through. Or I don't like going through all that controversy and BS. Like,
but your true fans, they still want to be connected to you.
For sure. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So that's why a lot of them things, avenues.
I didn't think it was gonna be this long when I did shut it down. But then, you know, like I say, I ain't had a code. I ain't run my Facebook fan page. It's still up, but I don't got the codes or none of that and stuff like that. But yeah,
So Twitter, what it is? So Bey TMT, right?
Mickey Bey TMT.
Mickey Bey.
If anybody want to hit me up, don't ask me questions or whatever.
Right.
You know, they can hit you up.
Right.
Or they can hit me up, and you know, I definitely answer. Just don't come with no super stupid stuff, nothing ignorant. But if you want to know,
well, you know, on Twitter they do come sideways every now and then, but there's a thing on there that comes. This is blocked.
Oh, it don't matter. I mean, I'm from the streets. So I didn't seen and heard it all. Ain't nothing I ain't seen or heard. So can't nothing be worse than what I mean, just experience, like, from a fan that I don't know anyway. So I ain't tripping.
It's all good. All right. So Triple G. So do you agree with him or do you disagree?
Oh, I agree. I agree with him. Because I'm sure he seemed like the kind of guy that tried to work it out. But it's like, just because his pay went way up, y'all going to be doing the same kind of trading unless you going to bring some dinosaurs or something. Unless you going to bring some dinosaurs or something in the gym. Triple G already, Triple G. I mean, I can't take no credit away from Sanchez, you know. But it ain't the training not gonna change. You're gonna train for about a month or two. Like, man, if you average the weekly amount out that you get paid, like, man, if he making what, 30, 40, or 20 million or whatever fight, if you get, you get high six figures or whatever Triple G was planning on giving him, man, that's a lot. Like, I mean, it add up, you know. I'm sure he's gonna be fighting a few times a year because
so